How Empires Operate. Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, Chapter 206, y'all. Alright, y'all. I have to explain some things first and foremost before I get into this review. Number one, like, Thanksgiving last week threw me all kinds of off, okay? That's why my last review didn't come out. I explained the situation in that, but yeah, Thanksgiving really threw my schedule all kinds of off. So I'm getting back on course and everything else. So, and I was waiting a few days with this review so that it didn't collide and everything. We good now. We're good. Number two, this review will not be like my usual reviews. I review, how I do, what happened, but it'll be more of a breakdown of themes, ideals, psychology, philosophy, whatever you want to say. Like, more psychology of stuff that was presented more than the actual chapter. Because to be honest with you, ain't a whole lot of plot progression happened in this chapter, and it wasn't needed. It was one of those times where it was introducing what had been going on and giving the readers, much needed information about that certain situation, as well as, one of the main characters out the bottom. So we'll go in deep into this review. Now, where did we leave off last chapter in 205? We left off with Alibaba, Morgiana, Toto, Oba, and the rest of Oba's crew, Alibaba's household. They finally arrived at Baba, and yeah, hell of a lot different. Like, they didn't show, Otaka didn't show it at first what went down. So I'm like, is the stories in clear land? Like, what's going on? Alibaba with them faces, though, them serious faces. And what do we see? Pretty much Baba has become co-empire. Literally, it's no longer Baba. It's not like it's, how Rome kind of did their empire, where if they conquered you, you still relatively had, what should I say, local governance over you. No, that ain't working here, okay? This is an empire where you will become a part of us. You are us, okay? You will adapt our society. There is no option, Our culture is now your culture. Now, we didn't really see that so much with the Kuga clan, okay? They kind of just joined up with Hakuryu's sister, But Cohen's up in this piece. He's the general, and he's saying, this is what it is. You're co-empire. You're under the banner and protection of co-empire. You are co-empire. There's no distinction. You understand? That's the number one point. And Alibaba, now Morgiana, Oba are shot. Toto isn't. Okay, by Alibaba's. He's not surprised because he's been hearing rumors and he figured there would be change. Now, it looks good on the surface, as we'll get to later. It looks good on the surface, build up, the slums are gone. Seems good, right? That's the way, again, I'll deal with that in a minute. How America does things. Seems good, seems really good. People ain't going hungry, we see food, we see, people seem happy. Good, right? Right. So, Morgiana shot, but like I said, Alibaba's in hearing things. Toto, she's getting some factual stuff, she's broken it down for us. And so they, I guess, go to the palace or something or another, but they go meet, Alibaba goes up and meets with some important dude, and the important dude's like, yeah, it's nice to see you again. I was no longer prince, man, ambassador. You remember you were exiled, so don't try anything. I forgot he was exiled, like seriously exiled. I just remember I just, it's been a while since I read. Even though it's been early this year, it's been a while because there was a lot that popped off during the Magna Star War. So I forgot some things before then, but it is what it is. Anyways, so I was like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm not gonna cause any trouble or like that. But they did say, the dude did mention Cohen's gonna be here tomorrow. He's a busy man, blah blah blah. Toto wasn't having that. She's like, yeah, he's the one that invited him. Why? Alibaba, being diplomatic and all that. He's normal, so good stuff. But we see that Alibaba said he's going to meet old friend. Right? It turns out it was Hassan and Zainab. Their husband and wife, and they had a kid, right? And these two were former Fog Troop members, Fog Troop commanders, right on the casino, like up with, Alibaba and they all was buddy. And I forgot they were kind of tight, because I remember the conflict, but I guess it's all good now, everything, and catching up and everything. So Alibaba goes with them to their house, right? And I guess Hassan had got drunk. It seemed like he was making soup, but apparently he was drunk or something. But before that part, the comedy. Alibaba saying, yo, your son got out of your face. That was and I was like, why you gonna say that? Funny stuff, right? But also, Hassan asked about Alibaba's love life. Alibaba with that face, and then he went, and like, no, I can't. Oh, that was great, just great comedy. But anyways, so it seems like Hassan's out, and Zainab's talking to Alibaba, and she's giving him the lowdown, See, what happened in this chapter is we talk about perspectives on 3 dimensions, okay? Number 1, we deal with the perspective of ambition. Number 2, we deal with the perspective of male-female. And number 3, we deal with the perspective of, the different intellect, okay? And I'll explain those in a minute, and this is what I'm getting at. Then I'll explain what I mean by America. Well, y'all can kind of get the vibe. Y'all should if you're a thinker and know what's really going on to what I explain with these 3 things. Now, number 1, the ambition thing. We see what, we see Zainab's goals as opposed to we see Hassan. Okay, Zainab is like, Co-Empire came in and it was all great because before it sucked. We couldn't get any placement. We were broke, we were poor, we were living in the slums, we were starving and everything. But they bring in food, good government, right? They bring in food, pretty much welfare, yeah, baby. Health, bringing in clothing. We all have jobs. It all sounds great. And if we do pay our proper taxes, and we work hard enough, we will be able to achieve greater. Like, I have the plan of, my dreams. And Alibaba's like, dreams, nice. I have the dreams of being a store owner and having subordinates, and they work hard for me. Now, that's the ambition. She has ambition. But that's the ambition under the system, right? That's believing the illusion. We go to Hassan. He's singing a totally different tune. It seems he's drunk, but he spits some factual stuff. He's like, yeah. Yeah, I know she's asleep, but it doesn't matter. She's not aware of the reality. What is that reality? Hassan's like, yeah, I'm a man. I'll get to the man part. He says, I'm a man. I look at him. Co-Empire ain't providing a better life. It's the same crap in a different sheet of clothing. See, as long as we play by their game, it's good. They assign us specific jobs. We have no say in the matter. I'm a porter. We are not allowed to think. Mind you, that's key. Okay? We're not allowed to think. If the only people who are really allowed to do is a select few besides the nobility. Look at the ambitions. She's believing the system. He's not believing the system. He's understanding the reality of the situation. Now look at the male-female situation. Now, obviously, this is generalizing. People get it twisted because they try to use the exceptions of the rules too often and not understand the usual rule. There's reason why there are exceptions. Because if there were not exceptions, it wouldn't be the rule. Okay, the exceptions are the rule. They're not the rule. They're not the rules themselves. Understand that. Now, the male-female thing. The females in that. Remember, understand that she's a mother. Okay, she's a woman, but she's a mother now. She wants to provide security, food for her child, as well as her family. But you understand what I'm saying? She is thinking, that she's not. She comes from a position of she didn't have all that much, so she's not asking for all that much. You understand what I'm saying? Hassan came from the same position, but you understand in a minute the male psychology. She's thinking, over time, give it time, we'll get there. Coming with the male perspective, though. Okay. Men are supposed to be providers, protectors, risk takers. A man's mentality is he feels trapped in this simple job. He's not allowed to think. He's not allowed freedom. He wants to get his if he can, and he feels he can. He's talking about how, the nobility were well, that used to be our identity. I no longer have an identity. He's questioning whether Balbud will even have an identity in a decade, 10 years. You don't understand how fast that is? 10 years. We're talking about a whole culture like that. And he's like, yeah, it was terrible under that situation of slums, but at least I could be a man. At least I had an opportunity to, advance. I have no opportunity now. And when a man, he's not feeling purpose. And when a man, look, ladies and gentlemen, men want love, we want peace, there's things we want. But number one most important thing with a man is, does he have a purpose? If a man doesn't have a purpose, he feels his life is pointless. Understand that. And that's what Hassan's pointing to. He's like, this is it. This is all I can do. No. Even when we were the Fox, we were actually making plays happen. You know all about it. You was with us. You remember how it was. This isn't what we were promised. This is what you were trying to build, bro. He didn't directly say it, but he said, this isn't what Kassim died for, which he talked about Kassim, going to Kassim's grave at the end. He's like, I gotta show you something. Understand that? The male wants to, go get it. I'm not saying what females can't be a go-getter, but her focus is different. Yes, he's thinking about his family too. He wants to advance, and he feels like he's hitting a ceiling. She's seeing the long term, he's seeing the short term. So understand that when men actually do tasks, it's a bit different. But understand the psychology of male, female psychology. Now, understand the intellect. I'm not calling Zada dumb. I'm not calling her stupid. But the fact is, who has the greater intellect? Hassan. He's piercing into the greater truth, the greater reality of the situation, the real factual stuff. On the surface, superficial, it seems great. But when you dig deeper, which Alibaba feared, that's exactly what Alibaba feared, and what's been on his mind. You understand what I'm saying? And Hassan's like, Alibaba. And then he even pointed out, you're not too surprised. He's like, yeah, I heard rumor, I was able to pull strings and checks because back in the Reem Empire, however you want to say it, Reem Empire, he's like, I pulled a connection with the strings. And I'll get to the empires in more a bit. He's like, I was able, to where the sons of the wealthy, they go to school from the educated and, the intellectuals. And he was hearing of how things were set up, kind of, sort of. And Hassan was like, yeah, you get it, bro. This, we've been disgraced. Our men have been put down. Yeah, it was terrible under Ahmad, but it's not any better in the overall scope under the code. You understand? So Like as mentioned before, what Alibaba was presenting was a republic. He wanted a place of the people, right? That ain't happened. Co-Empire, although there wasn't bloodshed, the Co-Empire came with troops. That was the first important thing. It was a conquest. Okay? It was not negotiation, it was no diplomacy, it was straight conquest. And they took over, and they implanted their style, their architecture, this color. There's no more culture. Okay? And understand with empires. Number one, you can go with government, in general, but understand with empires, this is what they do there. Number one, they infiltrate you economically. Then they infiltrate you could say, politically. Thirdly, socially, and finally, spiritually, you could say even add culturally in this case. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they do to you. They infiltrate every part of your society to where you're either straight up subservient in some form or another. You may or may not have, depending on how an empire is run, because there's variations of it. But overall, your culture becomes very minor, to say the least, if it's not totally either eradicated because they kill you off, because of disease or whatever, or it's so suppressed that it becomes forgotten. And that's what's happening in Baba. And when a culture dies, it is a truly sad state of affairs. So that's what he's talking about. And he's getting Alibaba, and he's like, Alibaba, once again, blessings, guys. So yes, Alibaba will have a purpose. And what will happen exactly, I'm not entirely sure. What will happen. But overall, to keep this as short as possible, because I could talk about America, I could talk about a whole lot of things with Empire, but I ain't trying to make this a 30-minute discussion video, okay? Because later this week, I'll, probably on Saturday, I'll have a couple videos dealing with why governments fail, and as well as how why empires fall. I'm not sure exactly how I'll do that, but yeah, probably be on the lookout for that. But anyways, overall in this review of this chapter, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. The plot progression, like I mentioned, was not spectacular. There was no actions, but what the themes, the psychology that was dealt with, there was a lot of in-depth stuff in this. Okay, some good comedy and whatnot. It was expected. That's what Otaka does. But, dealing with some real talk, okay? And I'll mention one last point after, I deal with the grid. Like I said, not a hell of a lot, but a good amount of stuff happened. Some deep stuff, okay? Now, as far as went with the empires, I noticed this. The Co-Empire looks ancient Chinese, okay? It looked very ancient Chinese in a manner. When you look at the Rim Empire looked very much like the Roman Empire. So I want to see a lot more. This is also, besides, like I mentioned, this could go some One Piece level. Definitely besides just the 1001 Nights. There's so much that can be done. Like the world building. There's so many other nations I want to meet. Because I'm seeing references. I've seen Arabian in this and that. I want to see other, how other nations look at this point. Because this has got me really interested. Now that we've gone into the depths of empire building and whatnot, this has got me really interested. It's not just the Magi storyline. It's got some deep concepts coming. So, alright, y'all. The Inspector One, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on this chapter. I thought it, once again, 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was an outstanding chapter. You know what I'm saying? Because of the depth of it that Otaka did. And she did it very nicely. Like, it wasn't a plunge like Mitsutoshi did in last week's Toriko chapter. But it was the levels that you had to pay attention to pick up. Understand? I'm not gonna run this video any longer. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace till next time.